along the ground, you can see where they had the towers that held the aerial line that moved the ore from the mines.
Dinner is coming along really nicely. We're making a Malaysian beef rendering and it's starting to smell really, really good. Hello and welcome. It's been a really long time since Jonah and I took our own car for a drive, so we're extremely excited to be heading out for the first time with our 76. We've got an M2 overland trailer with us as well, camping with Asher for the first time, and towing a camper trailer for the first time. So come and join us. We're heading up to Broken Hill campsite in the Coromandel. We're really excited to take you guys along. Well, here we go. So excited. The first time the 76 gets to be taken out camping. What do you reckon, Jonah?
Pretty excited. It's been a while. Hoping it doesn't rain too much.
Weather forecast, yeah, is a bit average, but we had a look. We thought we were going to cancel it, and we had, nah, we're going to go and do it. Not a very long drive from where we are, so we moved to Tauranga. So it's only a couple of hours to Broken Hill campsite, but we're on the gravel road, we're heading into the campsite, and I can't wait to unfold and sit down and relax for a couple of days.
Too many days in the darkness, without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, but darling, you were meant to survive.
I reckon that's pretty good.
We are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. With
Break it, 190.
we are born again. Open your heart, spend less time in your head. Just like a seed in a garden.
We're set up, and it's already been raining. I've already managed to cover myself in water, but it's pretty cool. We're at Broken Hill campsite in the Coromandel, so there's a whole bunch of old mine shafts and hikes and things like that are pretty close from here, so we're going to go check them out in the morning. There's some really cool hills and things like that up in the background. We've got the whole place to ourselves. And Jonah's already cracking into the cooking. Ash is having a bit of muesli. Here you go, babe.
Thanks.
First campsite for the night.
Yeah, sounds good.
What are we having for dinner?
We're gonna do actually tofu tonight. So a sauteed tofu with a side salad.
So part of what Joanna does as a day job is she's a nutritionist. So food is quite a big deal for her. For us, it's always been a really big thing to eat properly when on the road. So having the fridge and things like that is just kind of a bit of a must-have. So we're going to hand it over to Joanna, and she's going to prepare a big meal for us. Don't worry, it's not all vegetarian. We do eat meat. Don't worry about that at all. Let's get into it.
So So tonight we're gonna make lemongrass tofu with a sauté sauce and a side salad. Might seem like a little bit of a weird thing to have while camping, but that's one of the great things about having a fridge and a stove, is that I can cook like I normally would at home. So we're gonna start by making the salad tonight, which is gonna have bok choy, baby spinach, carrot ribbons, and mung beans to give it that nice Asian flair, as well as the sesame dressing. So to make a really simple dressing for an Asian salad, all you really need is vinegar and sesame oil. So I've made this salad for 2 people. So I'm only gonna use 1 teaspoon of roasted sesame oil and a half a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, which you can see is in a spice jar, but that's because we only needed a little bit for this trip. So next we're gonna make the sauté sauce. So this is a really simple sauté sauce. We're doing it with a dash of soy sauce, 1/4 cup of coconut cream, and I've brought these little peanut butter packets with us. It's a couple of tablespoons of peanut butter and some water. And we're gonna whisk it all together in our pot here. So we're just bringing the sauté sauce up to a simmer so that it combines all of the ingredients together, because we've got the peanut butter, the soy sauce, and the coconut. And bringing heat into that mixture allows all the fats to mix together and make a really nice sauce. Then we'll just set it off to the side with the lid. So now we're gonna chop up the tofu, and as you can see, there's a lot of moisture in there. And when we're gonna do tofu, you actually don't want the moisture. So I'm camping, so I'm just gonna tip it out on the ground. But you would tip it down the sink at home, not on the floor, unless you have a dog. Totally up to you. Another reason that we dry it off to add the flavor is so that it really takes on the flavor that you're cooking it with. A lot of people think that tofu has a gross flavor and they don't like it, but actually tofu in and of itself should be flavorless if you're getting a good brand. So it'll take on whatever flavors you're adding to it. For the flavor for the tofu, I pre-made at home a little paste, which is lemongrass, ginger, and turmeric. And I actually really like to stir fry with avocado oil because it's very heat tolerant. So it's a lot healthier for you. You don't have to worry about burning it and creating carcinogens. So a lot of times you look at your oil and you're like, how do I know if it's ready to fry? Well, a good way is to take your wooden spoon, the bottom end, chuck it in the oil, and if you start to see bubbles around the base of the spoon where the oil is, that means that it's ready to fry. This is starting to bubble, it's ready to fry.
You want another beer?
Yes, please.
Yeah. Yeah.
Koozie me.
Okay.
Boys, dinner's ready.
Coming. All right, looks good. Really good. What do you think of the kitchen?
It's really nice. I think we need to work out our organization of where things go, but honestly, it's got everything that you need. Although, we do have a little extra.
That's right. We haven't shown you the man cave yet. We've got a Weber on board, so we might get that out tomorrow with the beef. But apart from that, we're really loving our first night out on the 76. We're going to get him to bed, get ourselves fed, and we'll see you in the morning. Cheers, baby.
Thanks.
Cheers, buddy.
Here. Hey, no fingers. You want a noodle? the things I love about the stove are the how easy it is to light.
Yeah.
And that this flame must be strong enough because it like even when it was windy last night, it didn't really go out.
No.
And I love having the sink and I love having it the stove, but I don't like them together. I would like for them to be separate.
Fair enough.
Morning. What a place to wake up to, eh? This is Broken Hill campsite. It's a dock campsite and it's well worth putting onto your kind of wish list if you go to the Coromandel. Our plan for today, there's an old mine site pretty close to here called Broken Hills mine site, and there's a stamping battery that's still left there. So it's a bit of a hike in, but we're going to go and have a look before we hit the road. The plan for us today is to make it all the way up to Jack's Bay, to the top of the Coromandel Peninsula. So a lot of dirt roads. We're going to do the 309 road. We've got something pretty cool planned for Asher. Go through the Coromandel township and then hit the dirt again all the way to the top of the peninsula. Looking forward to it. The weather's clearing up. Let's get into it.
So a good little tip for backing up around campsites and hitching up trailers is to always have a spotter with you. We've got a couple of UHF radios and Joanna's just guiding me back into it, and that's mainly so she can line up the trailer, but also because there's kids and things around, is that safety thing, so we make sure we don't run over a sprog. How are we looking back there?
Either come to the left, go straight, a little bit more to the left, keep coming, keep coming, keep coming a little bit further. Okay, wait, stop, I've got to wind the jockey wheel up further. It's in.
We're all packed up. Let's go adventuring.
So we're gonna go up this trail to the Golden Hills Battery, which is what used to feed ore through an aerial cable to the Golden Hills mine. Looks pretty cool. Sounds like there's only the concrete stamper remains and a cyanide vat, but we're gonna go check it out.
So the Golden Hill mine shaft is behind me, and you know me, I love exploring mine shafts and gold mining history. It's one of the only ones in the Coromandel that you can actually still go into, so let's go have a look. I'm pretty excited. Show this one. So very different to the one that was in the South Island that I explored last year. The whole ground and all the rock is very different. There's a lot more water in the mine shaft itself. Yeah, there you go, buddy. It's nice and cool in here though. Hot day outside, so let's see how far this thing goes. That was awesome. That you get back a further and then it branches off into a T and it disappears right up into the mountain. I reckon you could explore this thing for quite a while. Love it. Hey, go!
So behind me here and along the ground you can see where they had the towers that held the aerial line that moved the ore from the mines down the hill to where they could collect it. And a little bit further you can see the cyanide vats where they used to get off all of the extra ore and find the gold in the bottom.
So we just got done with our little hike up to the Broken Hill mine site. Awesome little spot. I
recommend it to anyone. It's about 20-30 minutes, pretty easy going, and it's just cool looking at some of the old New Zealand mining history. We're back on the road now and we're heading up to the 309 road. We've got a little surprise for Asher about halfway along. Most of you probably know what it is already. Joanna's pretty excited about it too, so we'll catch you there. So we've just jumped onto the 309 road, which is gravel all the way across to the Coromandel township. And when I'm on long gravel roads, especially when I'm towing the camper trailer, I like to put the car into forward drive. And it's just a lot safer, that gives you a lot more traction, and your handling on the gravel road is a lot better. Plus as well, with all the power the truck's making, is you'll be spinning those back tyres the whole time. So we'll chuck her in forward drive and we'll head on. Although there's a whole bunch of pigs on there. This might be it. No, this is it. Yeah, no, this is it. Look at all the pigs.
Look! Cook, China. You want to eat them?
Not what we expected at all. Kind of interesting. Asher loves it, but definitely not the animal park that I thought it was going to be. Oh, don't you love exploring?
Well, I don't think it's an animal park. I think it is a very old yard full of millions of pigs. Well, I thought we were going to get to go to an animal park, and so I'm disappointed now, because it was basically just like a junkyard full of pigs, and the one we passed looked super cool. Oh well, next time I guess.
Well, now you know. There is no animal park on the 309 road, but pretty interesting nevertheless. How's this for a nice little spot for the lunch right by the river? You hungry? I don't think so. What a fantastic spot for lunch. It's something I've been saving. Follow me. Just because we can. Why not? If you're bringing all the luxuries from home anyway, might as well bring the soda stream machine. Brilliant. Nice and cold out of the fridge. Perfect.
I came from the mud, there's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree, there's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon. 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 When it rains, it pours. Will you find me? Hope you find me. I'll be back home soon.
Because why wouldn't you? Early in the morning. Another great place to wake up to this morning. I think we're going to take it quite slow this morning and kind of just get into it, have a nice breakfast, and then think about making our way back down south. Got to toast the bread. Well, it's been quite a while since we sat down in front of the camera like this. I think last time when we first filmed the walk around on the new 76, that was about 7 months ago, something like that.
7 months.
7 or 8 months ago.
It's like a whole baby away.
Pretty much. And hasn't the world changed a lot?
Yeah.
Basically, I was working in Aussie. That's no longer happening. And but we're charging through.
Vacation in Melbourne.
Your vacation in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that got cancelled.
Yeah.
Not by me. We're supposed to go to Melbourne, supposed to go to Aussie. Obviously, we can't travel, but this is what we're trying to get across, is that everyone should be able to travel in their own countries, and guys, make the most of it, because look at what we can do in New Zealand. So if you've got a full drive, doesn't matter if you don't have a full drive, go and buy one, and let's get out there and start exploring.
But you don't need to have one to do some of these things, just FYI.
No, not at all. Let's dive into the 76. It's
silver.
It's
a lighter form of gray. Sorry, go ahead.
Thanks. So let's dive into the 76. So the point of this trip here was, there was 3 firsts for us. 2 of them are the really big ones for us. And that's the first camping trip with Asher since we've had him. The last time Joanna and I actually filmed a trip together was North Cape. And Joanna was about 3 months pregnant.
Yeah, 3 months pregnant.
And the other big one was taking the 76 out for its kind of first trip that we've ever, so this is the first time we've ever been camping out of this vehicle. And we wanted to see how all the modifications that we've done to it work and what we think we need to still upgrade and change. And the third one is the guys from M2 Overland lent us their prototype GT Grand Touring trailer. So it's their grassroots trailer, and we thought we'd take that for a trip as well and have a bit of a play. So we've
makes the first camping trip with a child easy.
Yes, and that's the big thing with a camper trailer. You don't have to have a fully set up vehicle at all to tow one, and you just have it packed up in the garage. If you want to take off for a weekend, hitch it up and off you go. You don't have to be driving around with a fully set up vehicle all the time. So it fitted our needs really well because our car's not finished yet, and with Asher it's been really nice. So I think the last thing left to talk about is kind of what we've got planned for 4-wheel drive New Zealand. There's kind of going to be 3 different parts to our video series that we do. The first one I'll let Joanna talk about, which is the family side of things and the camping.
So there's probably going to be more mellow camping, at least in the beginning, until Asher gets a little bit bigger, because shaking up a baby is a big no-no. So it'll be more things like this, you know, fun places that are really scenic with beaches and water and grassy areas, maybe even a swing or 2. Just because that'd be easier with Asher. We can only really do 2 to 3 hours of driving at a time, and with filming that gets really difficult with Asher because he obviously wants to get out and run. But as he gets older, we'll be able to merge, I think, the family trips with kind of more of the off-roading stuff. When Asher can do a little bit longer stints in the car. But, you know, we'll probably do a test trip and see how he goes. But at the moment, we're looking at those three categories, like more mellow family trips in remote areas, and then your more
Yeah, so
super remote areas.
super remote. Yeah, so the other one is the real expedition kind of style of trips where we plan to go somewhere that's not really accessible to the public. It's a lot tougher to get to, you know, it potentially takes us a couple of days to cut ourselves in. A lot more planning goes into those trips as well,
Yeah.
with getting the right access, the permission to go through different land, and getting the vehicles prepped. There'll be all sorts of other really cool four-wheel drives coming along with us as well, so other people are joining us. So the expedition side, and then I've always had a bit of a dream to do things solo. I've been watching a few solo videos on YouTube lately, and I'm getting inspired to go out and do a few solo trips myself. So those are the three parts to the 4Drive New Zealand trips that we're doing. Been really nice being able to head out. And like I said earlier, guys, this is our time to travel in New Zealand, go and support our local businesses, get out there, summertime's coming, let's get out there and play. Well, that's it guys, we're all packed up, time to get out of here. I really hope you enjoyed watching this little family adventure. Massive thanks to M2 Overland for giving us the camper trailer to try out for the weekend. We've got a long drive, so we're going to hit the road. We'll see you on the next adventure.